If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 511. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
I am Brian Shadow Emmerich.
And we are back. A couple weeks off. Had some shit come up. Unfortunately, there's some shit coming up.
Oh no!
Life happens.
Yes. So we leave for a cruise.
Oh, the cruise? The cruise?
Oh, we
one
did
of many.
in June. So yes, so this is our next one. So yes, this. So we leave for that one, and so the next two shows can't exist because one will be leaving for it, and the next one will be on it, and then after that, I believe it's Thanksgiving week.
Well, but that's Monday though. No, we can do Monday.
Yeah, I can probably manage to edit that by the following Sunday. So I think that'll be the week we're back. Is the oh no, actually I'm not back. We don't even get back until Tuesday. So yeah, of Thanksgiving week. And I'm hosting people here, so that's even worse. So yeah, so no Thanksgiving show. So it's the one following that. Yes.
Oh my God.
27th,
right? No, we must have a show between those because
the 20th would be.
Yeah. So let's go to November
Monday.
here. So, November 5th. Oh yeah, no, we can do a show on November 5th. And
there we go.
But Shadow's gone, and then
I'm gone. Yeah.
And then. It's the 12th and the 19th that we will not have shows. Or no, the 13th and the 20th. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't you just
I'll be
borrow
back on the
somebody's
27th.
equipment on the cruise and say, hey, I just need to do a real quick podcast?
Just real quick.
Just real quick. Just 3 hours.
Let me just get my 3 monitors out here and all my video equipment. Just pop it out.
So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the Kevin Smith? Is this the Kevin Smith cruise?
No, this is just another Virgin Voyages one. So,
okay. I thought this was the Kevin Smith.
No, we love them because there's no kids, and yeah, the Kevin Smith one's actually be the shittiest cruise we go on because it's going to be a shit cruise line. It's going to have the big dining room and not all the restaurants, but it's Kev, so you cut him some slack.
That's why I was saying borrow the. That's why I was saying borrow the podcasting equipment.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why you thought they had podcast equipment on a cruise. So now that makes a lot more sense. Yes, yeah. So tonight we're recording this on Halloween Eve. So tomorrow is
Eve. Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow should be good. I worked on setting up our projector today. So like the front window, I kind of put a like an opaque see-through, almost like a shower curtain over the window, and then I do like a holographic projection on it, so like it's a bunch of skeletons doing cool stuff. So got that set up.
Nice.
Yeah.
I this year I decided to try to do the busts from the Haunted Mansion.
So I saw those.
So I did like the 5. Yeah, thanks. So I did like a projector, and I built a thing to put the projector in to protect it from the rain and elements and things. So I can have it out there when it's raining. And that worked out pretty well. But the only thing is that it's all hooked into my switch for my lights that go on at a certain time. So it has to turn the projector on, and then I have to turn the projector on and it has to put the power to it. And I have to turn it on, hit play and all that stuff. But once it does that, it loops for however long I want to. Nice. So it's cool. It looks good. And that was cool. That was the first time I tried something like that. Next year, I might actually try to 3D print the busts. I don't know. We'll see. Nice. But it worked out pretty well.
Like, I don't know if I trust my neighborhood.
Freak me out. Yeah.
I don't know if I trust my neighborhood enough.
Oh, yeah. So it was like a $50 projector that I got off Amazon. Okay. Like nothing special. If it gets stolen, whatever. I actually bought it doesn't have one of those electronics lock holes in it, so I bought a whole like chain the electronics things, not chain, but you know what I mean, like those rope things that are chains. And I did all that. I bought all that. I'm like, I don't even know if this is gonna work, and then I gotta chain it to something and whatever. I mean, that costs almost as much as the projector itself, so I'll just return those and whatever. But it worked out pretty well. I liked it. I did it out of the that foam that you get, foamular you get for walls,
Okay,
like
yep,
the
yep,
pink
yep.
stuff, and just
Nice.
cut out the shapes and stuck them in the ground. So yeah, that was my big thing this year. And I also have a ghost that I built 2 years ago that I just shine a light on. My wife and I built it out of like wood and wires and put like plastic around it, and then we drape stuff over it. It looks pretty cool. I'm big into Halloween. Love it.
I got a few decorations out front, like a blow up ghost and a blow up Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you
There you
guys
go.
are way more impressive than me.
Well,
Yeah.
this is
Hey,
my
you do
thing.
something. That's
I
fine.
love Halloween, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
love it.
yeah. So when Tiff moved up from North Carolina up to Massachusetts, we dismantled her projector system. So she had a projector with a giant screen at her house. So that came up here, and then it was like, well, let's just hang on to it. We're not going to use it as a projector, but like we repurpose it every year at Halloween, so it works out.
Maybe I'll rig something up on my projector outside for tomorrow night as I'm sitting out there.
Yeah, man up.
It's just to keep up with the Joneses.
I got to keep up with you guys.
All right. Well, why don't we just hop right in the show proper now that we've warmed the audience up? We'll go right in the mailbag for feedback and questions from last week's show. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Fellatio comment. Oh, I get.
Oh, you get it?
You got
You get it?
Oh, I didn't say it right when I typed it. Okay.
Oh, I thought you knew.
No, I didn't put two and two together. I was like, what a dumb name. But now it's an awesome name. Phil Acio comments. I really enjoy your show each week. It's one of my two go-to podcasts.
Wow. I wonder what the other one is.
That's what I was going to say. Phil, you
Thanks.
one more sentence. Like, these are my go-to podcasts. Oh, and Seldom just
like
adjusted his camera.
Planet Money
to
to Ultiplay.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh no,
earthquake
Seldom, what are you doing?
Oh my god. Okay.
Whoa.
All right. Thank
What
you for
happened?
the kind words, Fellatio. Next
Thank
up,
you.
Ruby Malice asks, what do you guys think of the price increases to Game Pass and PlayStation Plus? Is there a point when you feel it won't be worth it?
I have no problem with the price increase because the quality that I'm getting out of Game Pass, and the amount of games and the hours that I'm spending on it is well worth the price right now. And any slight increase in price, as long as it doesn't go over like 3 AAA titles in like a year, 3-4 AAA titles plus all the other crap games that I play off there. I'm fine with it. So
I feel like you get more value than most of us.
I guarantee you, I probably get more value than most of us.
I get a lot of value out of it, and I really think that it's the best thing going for Game Pass wise.
Yeah, I still believe that about Game Pass as well. Yes,
it's great. If they doubled it, I'd probably still pay it. I don't want to hear. They probably shouldn't hear that, but I would. I mean, I think it. What is it for a year? It's like a little over 100. I mean, I have Ultimate, and I had like the
month, I think now.
Yeah, so it's I don't know, 100 and maybe not double it, but it's like maybe 180 bucks a year for Ultimate, and you get PC, Xbox. Yeah, if I get 3 AAA and then anything else, and my son can play them too on his account because we have 2 Xboxes and do the whole like home account or home system
that works until you have more than 4.
Well, if you have 2 Xboxes,
then you have to buy multiple of these.
If you're not Derek D. Smooth Nolan, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I would gladly if they actually brought that whole family plan in.
I would totally buy that.
Like they all have true, like 100% active gamer tags that they could play all the titles. Yeah, like I'd pay 1.5 times my value that I'm paying right now instead of just sharing it with my family.
Yeah.
So now, what do you think as for the PlayStation Plus, that I feel like is shit now. It's so overpriced for what you get.
So if they would put their first party titles on it like Xbox does,
that would be different.
Yeah, that would be different. But they don't do their AAA first party at launch games on there. Like if you can play Spider-Man 2 right now on PlayStation Plus for free,
the value goes up so much.
Yeah, exactly, yes. A ton. But right now it's always like 2-3 years down the road they'll put one of those on there and it'll be a big deal. But by then everyone's already played it or bought it or or it's already much cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I'm constantly reconsidering my PlayStation Plus subscription. So,
And I never play online on PlayStation, so
Yeah,
the online part doesn't matter. And
yeah,
the
same
cloud
thing.
saves is the only thing that matters, and they tie that behind the PlayStation Plus, the cloud saves. And I
Yeah.
don't think Xbox does that.
No, not anymore.
I think you can do it. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Game Pass is definitely a value. PlayStation Plus, I think we're all in agreement, it's not the value.
It's
Yeah. And I think
lesser of a
even like
value now. Yeah.
I think even like PlayStation fanboys are saying the same thing. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about maybe just putting it on hold for a while
Yep.
if they don't play
Like
online.
I know a story came out maybe a couple weeks ago that PlayStation is actually they're going to bringing in a rotation of Sony movies to the PlayStation Plus
Yeah,
environment.
That
So
that's
that's
me at all. No.
but like it's like yeah, that's a bone that they're throwing in
already
it.
have
But
access
a
to
lot of
every
people already
movie
have
ever.
access
Yeah.
to a lot of movies that
Well,
are already out. So
I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can say, well, because I go to.
No, but I can say
Well, I mean, just
I belong
with
to every streaming service.
with
I
all the
pay for
streaming
them
services
all.
like
Yes.
Hulu,
Yeah, but
Netflix,
that's not
or
everything ever, because this stuff gets
Prime.
taken off all the time. But yeah, I gotcha.
Yep,
I gotcha.
Yep. Oh,
Um,
all right. Next up, 69 No Scope 69 asks, is there any LAN party planning going on? It came up some episodes back, but it hasn't been brought up since. I've never been to one, but have a feeling I would really like the crowd at yours.
Yeah, I miss those.
Not a lot has
Um,
gone on with this. Like I talked
No.
to Jay, to Joel Duderock Albert like a month or two ago about it, and he's like, "Are you nuts?" So
Well,
he does have
it's
a
let-
little kid now and everything else. So he's in
Yeah.
the phase that I was already out of when we were doing these LAN parties. So it's a little tougher to set this up, but I still would like to get one going on, especially in 2025, which would be the 20th anniversary of the original Tool to Play LAN party. So
wow, we really
I'm-
are old.
Yeah, I'm
So,
working
yeah.
on it. Yeah. We were old. We were too old to play
I-
then. So yeah, figure that the fuck out. Yes.
I got in at like in 2008-ish. I got an Xbox
Yep.
360 and I got onto the site, and I thought, oh, I'm already late to the party. It's been around for 3 or 4 years, and now it's been almost 20.
20
So
more
it's
years
kinda
since
crazy.
then. Yes. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
And it's
that's-
honestly, I've the different groups that I play with, some originating from the Tool to Play site, the Tool to Bone, and the other side, like the Grim Reaper Gamers, that has split off from Tool to Play and stuff like that. Like, it's just really hard these days to get people to go to a place like this at this point. And when it was all brand new, everybody's like, oh yeah, let's go meet. But now it's like so ingrained in us that we're okay with the online communication. I don't think a lot of drive is there for people to actually go to the LANs anymore.
Yeah. Plus,
And even
have
those
to have-
small groups, you would think that with a smaller group, like like the Tool to Pwn people or the Grim Reaper Gamers, like that, that it would drive them a little bit better to go to a LAN. But it's like, even for a small group, it's hard to get together. Not the size that the Tool to Play LAN used to be. I can't even imagine trying to think about pulling something that big off. So
I mean, back then we used to have issues with occasional games that needed online to be able to do anything.
Yep.
Now everything is online. You have to have a good
that's true
internet
too,
connection,
yeah.
even if you aren't playing online.
even just
They may or
authenticate
may
you
not have a
the
LAN.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, they may or not have a LAN in the game. Like you might just have to play online. Then you're just playing online but sitting next to each other.
But
So,
like
I don't
20
know.
people are using the same internet connection to go out and then back to
Yeah.
the same. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there was a time for it. I believe it's 2025, but we'll keep in the loop. 69 No Scope 69, and I enjoyed those days too.
The last time we
think-
did it, I recommended to everybody that we do a Kickstarter, and we did that, and it worked. And that was right when Kickstarter was first coming out. But other than that, it'd be tough to get that going.
yeah, I think you'd have to tie it into some other event like a PAX East or something like that, where it's not just the LAN that you're getting together to play, but it's a side to the
You bring people into an event,
to
and then you
bring them
have
to an
some
event and then
off-site
split
thing
off.
for-
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that
So
would not be a bad idea either, because everybody loves Boston. So
Yeah, like a Pactor party or something.
exactly, yeah.
We'll just
Except
do that.
yeah, except not in LA. We'll have to do it on the East Coast because more of our population is here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll
I'd go to
figure it out.
Boston.
I'll be the new Pactor. It's cool.
yeah, I mean, it could also be a good recruitment drive to bring people into the tool to play environment or something like that, or
I know it's just so tough that now nobody uses like one-off websites.
websites.
Like everyone's just given up. They're like, oh, everything's on social media, so it's it's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's this, it's that. But there was a time like my day was like first thing in the morning, tool to play. Next thing, I go to AVS forum and look up all of my home theater stuff. Then I go to this play, and then I go to this. And like even every year now, still on my birthday, like I get like 40
Yeah.
messages from all these stupid one-off forums like happy birthday, and I'm like, you're still around,
Like,
like
I'll get one from like NeoGaf. I'm like, oh yeah, I have an account there still. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
forgot about that.
it's weird. Yeah, so things have changed. So
Yeah, no more message boards really as much.
no. All right, 69 no scope, we'll keep you in the loop. Last but not least, Altius asks, Starfield has been a polarizing title. Some people love it and put in hundreds of hours, and other people find the campaign story weak or dislike it for other reasons. What is it that makes Seldon 007 and Shadow like it and D-Smooth not?
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go. I'll go first. I'll get myself out of the way, and then you guys can like suck its dick. Starfield is kind of like it's a shooter where you're given like maybe like a straw and paper balls, or and they don't do any damage, and the UI is insane, and you have to like mouse over everything, but you're using a controller to do it, so it's like janky, and then you're like, oh, do I want that? I don't know. I'll pick up everything. And then you're like, you can't pick up everything. You're out of space. And then you don't know what you need or what you want, and it's just shitty. All right, now I'll defer.
I love the universe. I love the size of the universe. I love the options to go and do whatever I want. There's no strict timeline, so it's kind of open world, open universe. It's got so many different elements to the game. You got the resource management, you got base building, you got character development, you got all the side quests that you could ever imagine. And it's got the main storyline, which is intriguing, and it leaves just enough hanging in the storyline each time that you want to advance the storyline, and you can leave the storyline for a while. You can play with it however you want and then come back to it later. So, I mean, I'm just really enjoying the freedom that's given me and the options of different game styles that I could play within it. So,
So I'm kind of at the same point I was last time we talked. Just because I was playing Lies of Peace so much and I almost 100% that. I'm like at the last boss for the second time around. And so I still haven't really gone back to play it because I'm now playing a new game. Talk about that later. But I do have the same issues that Derek has for a lot of things, which is the inventory management is a big deal. I'm even getting that problem in games I'm playing right now, and that's a much smaller game. This is something where they should be able to take care of that better. They should have a better way to do it. I also believe that games like this, if they're gonna have shooting, they need to work on that and get it to where it's fun to play the shooting part. Because whenever I'm playing this, even stuff like Fallout and Skyrim and stuff, not great at shooting. I like the RPG elements. I like all of that stuff. That's great. But if it's going to be a shooter as well, you need to get that wrapped up better, so that it's actually fun and easy to use. The Fallout, the VATS in Fallout, that was a good solution because you don't have to actually be aiming perfectly. You can decide where you're going to shoot, and then it just shoots.
Yeah.
So if it's something like that, that would be better. But in this case,
I was going to say one of my biggest enjoyments out of this game over the old one is because they got rid of the VAT system. But
Okay.
I don't know if you've gotten far enough into the game yet, but
No.
it's got that space magic, like Bungie did with
Where you unlock
Destiny.
your powers and all that
Once you
stuff.
start
Yeah.
unlocking your powers, you can combine your powers with your shooting to change, really change up the whole method of how you.
I could never get to that point in this game. No.
No, I will. I will get to it. It's definitely one where it's like, well, maybe I'll set this aside and then I'll play it in January when I'm done with everything else that's out right now, and I just want to get back to it because that's what always happens. I played like 250 hours of Skyrim. I started Fallout 3 and then I put it down, and like 3 years later I came back and I 100% that, and then I played New Vegas and Fallout 4. So I think I definitely will come back to this once I'm done with the stuff I'm working on now, but it's not really grabbing me yet, but I think it will. So I would say I'm right in between you guys, and I will definitely get back to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I understand a lot of the gripes about the inventory, but once you get past the fact that they yell at you about the inventory, you don't have to worry about how much shit you carry. You can carry everything you ever wanted to carry, and you won't die. You won't stop. You'll lose your energy and you'll lose health, but you'll never actually die. So you can keep doing it. And once you get space magic, you can throw your personal atmosphere up and just keep oxygenating yourself and running. So there is really, I mean, yeah, you end up with a whole bunch of pencils and notepads if you want.
Shadow. Yeah, that's right.
That's
yes.
true. I went back to it and I was playing. I was like, I'm running. Why am I like dying? Because I'm running. Oh, it's because I'm over encumbered and didn't tell me that I was.
Yeah. But you'll never actually die from it. So you can just go past
so
that
weird.
point. So.
And I was running around inside of a city with no enemies, and I was dying from it. Felt like I was dying. It's like,
that game.
What is going on? No, I'll definitely go back to it. So I'm right between.
All right. Well, thanks for the question, Altius. I think you have good questions, comments, anything for the show. Give us a call, 773-527-2961, or emails at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we move on over to what we're playing? Selden, what have you been playing this week?
Of course, I've been playing Starfield, as we were just talking about. It's still side missionsing and occasionally going back doing the main missions and stuff like that. Besides that, I've also been playing a little bit of Vampire Slayers. I picked up one of the DLCs so I can continue with other characters.
You mean Vampire Survivors?
Yeah, Vampire Survivors. I'm sorry. I put Vampire Slayer in the
I was like, what is Vampire Slayer?
What is this game?
Let me strike that.
Knockoff?
You know what was happening at the
so we
beginning
can
of
go
the
back to it
show?
later.
I was having problems here. Let me just correct it in the outline. I spelled it wrong again.
It's
No, just
Robinson
stop.
Crusoe. Yes.
Just stop. We're never going to look at that.
So, Vampire Survivor, I've been playing. I met back up with the, as I was talking about earlier, I met back up with some of the Tool Dapone people. We had an anniversary for one of our members that passed away a year ago or so. So we had a night of honoring him. We went back and played the Halo Master Chief Collection, went to some of the old maps, some of the old game types that we used to play, and it was an absolute fucking blast. It was
Awesome.
It was really, really fun getting back into those games and the game types. And like the biggest frustration was there's no sprint back in like the games we were playing. I'm like, why can't I sprint? But like,
we used to complain about sprint being in the newer ones, and now it's like, oh, these old ones don't have it. It's weird.
It was great playing on some of the old maps and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun playing with those guys.
MCC's great now. They fixed all the problems.
Yeah, so
10 years later, yep.
So I played that, and then
10 years.
Then I got a reviewer's copy of Atari put out a game. Actually, it was a remake of Haunted House, which is, if you remember the old Haunted House from back in the Atari game, with the one dot with the flashlight, and you were out walking around and you're trying to search for things. It's basically that, but it's modernized. It actually looks really stellar. It's very cartoony looking, and it plays. It's a fun play. It definitely, it's got some bugs. I've crashed a couple times in it, but I'm sure there's going to be some updates coming out for it and fix some of those issues. But definitely around this Halloween time, it was a fun game to get back into and see how they re-envisioned the Haunted House game from back in the Atari days. So if you have like $20, I'd highly recommend pick it up. So
I have $20.
Nice. Well, there you go.
You want to play one of Selden Shit's games?
Yes. Oh wow, you called it a shit game and they gave you a room copy.
Well, no,
He's
it's
not going to
that's just
review
the,
copy again. Yes.
that's just my style
mean-
of games. Is how you
Yeah,
guys call them
okay.
shit games.
Yes.
But no, I thought it was a really fun game, and it was interesting, and it was a lot of variety, a lot of good bosses in there, and stuff like that. So,
Very
Nice.
nice.
how about you, there, Brian?
All right. So I went, like I said, I played more of Lies of P, which is a great game. I would say I would rate that like an 8.5 out of 10 for the year. Great game. If you're into Souls games at all, Bloodborne games, pick it up. It's no brainer, and it's on Game Pass. So I mean, it's free if you have Game Pass. So definitely grab that. Played that up until about 10:59 p.m. on Thursday, and when the stroke of 11 o'clock Central hit, I booted up Alan Wake 2, which I've been waiting for 13 years. And it was so far everything that I've wished for and more.
Oh,
I'm
very
loving
nice.
it. It's I will say, just as a caveat right away, make sure that it's updated as much as you can get it updated right now. And if you're a new player or you're somebody who's worried about possibly having some bugs, you maybe wait for like a week. There's a
Oh,
lot of random bugs going on. I haven't really experienced many of them, but some people have. So just look into that before you start it up. Make sure it's fully updated. So out of the way, caveat out of the way. It other than that, it's been great. It's picks up basically right after Alan Wake, the original, and there was a American Nightmare in between there, but that was sort of a one-off, and it wasn't really connected to the story. So you can honestly, if you haven't played an Alan Wake game before, you can
just
jump right into
in.
this, and it'll catch you up.
Nice.
You'll, I mean, it's better if you like play like the remastered version. I would recommend that because it's a great game, and also you'll get a lot of there's so much inside lore and inside jokes and inside Easter eggs and stuff in this, which is great if you know it all. If you don't, you'll still enjoy it. It's much more survival horror than the original one was, which the original one was sort of like an action game with some unique enemies where you had like flash the light at them and pop their shields and then shoot them. This has that too, but it's more realistic, and there's fewer enemies. The ones that are there are harder, and it's a little less random. It's more scripted event type stuff. There's a much bigger sense of foreboding, and the sound is amazing. Like you hear somebody off in the distance, and you know the direction they are, and that they're going to come for you in about 30 seconds, and you can get out of there. But it's the story's great. You're switching between two different people: Saga, who's the new main character, and Alan, who's trapped in this dark space that is trying to get out. And first off, you start with Saga for a while. Like you play with her for like probably I'd say 2 or 3 hours before you play Alan at all. And then you'll play some of him, and then you get to a point where you can switch between the two. And you can just play one of them for as long as you want till the end of their story, and then switch to the other one and play all of their story, or you can swap whenever you want, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, you can. I'm still working on it. I've got about 20 hours into it. And speaking of the bugs, I had a kind of a scare right before I ate dinner tonight. I was playing and I got to a point where it wasn't going to continue the game, and I was able to roll back a save and fix the bug, but it was a little bit of a I don't want to waste 20 hours and then go back and restart it. So
another 20 just to get back where
I mean, I would do it.
No,
I would do it, but I would be upset about it.
Yeah.
So I would
You
say
would think
save,
after 13 years they'd have that figured out.
it's a crazy game. Like there's so much overlaid on top of each other. The graphics are probably one of the best games I've ever seen graphic wise. It's insane. Like if you have a maxed out PC, which I do not, and you have path tracing and all that stuff with NVIDIA, it's supposedly the best, maybe the best looking game ever. It's insane. Like you feel like you're just walking through the Pacific Northwest. It's ridiculous. So, but yeah, I mean, keep saving as you go, keep some saves backed up a few hours. You get 3, so alternate them just in case, because there are some weird issues. But other than that, yeah, that's what I've been playing, and I will continue to.
Excellent.
How about you, Derek? What have you been playing?
Sorry,
Well,
I thought we did, Derek.
yes, no. So
Go for it, Derek.
I have been playing something that is not in my wheelhouse. I actually paid money for this game. So
I was
a little
surprised.
backstory. We go to all these gaming events, and all of our gaming friends are like, "Oh yeah, did you see WWE SmackDown? Did you see Monday Night Raw?" And we're like, "What the fuck? What are these guys like 7? Why do they even watch wrestling and all this other shit?" So like 2 months ago, Tiff and I were like, let's just fucking watch something, and then we can like taunt them on social media. And then we watched it, and then all of a sudden now we were in like 3 nights a week into watching a wrestling thing. And then at some point I was like, it's a good idea for me to buy WWE 2K23. And now I've been playing WWE 2K23, and it's terrible. It's great, but it's also terrible. So
you might want to change supplier of wherever you're getting whatever you're smoking, because
this is the same Derek who thinks it's good to have like 6 Xboxes. So just money, whatever.
That's all I've been playing is WWE 2K23. I'm working through. I got my own faction. I'm busting them through.
How far down the rabbit hole are you going to go? Are you going to get like a fishing sim game next, or?
No. This is the only rabbit hole. Like I will admit to you, there was a point where like Tiff and I were like, oh, the WWE's coming to Boston, and then we briefly thought about it, and then it was over Christmas when we're not going to be here. But yes, so
you have a soccer team up there in New England too. Maybe you should get European Football Manager 2023
to watch the Revolution. Now I'm already a Pats season ticket holder, so I got that covered. So yes, yeah.
Derek, what happened to you? You used to play games.
I know. Now, like, the games are letting me down. I probably should go back to Halo at some point and just see if they've unfucked it, but it is what it is.
I mean, people out there like wrestling games. It's a game. He's playing a game.
Yep.
I will say that my favorite wrestling game of all times, I think I've said it on the show before, was that arcade game back in the 80s, 90s, the tag team wrestling game that you played in the actual arcade cab.
Oh yeah,
that was by far the best game ever for wrestling.
Yeah, I liked watching people play that. I was a little too young to play it to be any good, so I just watched people play it at the arcades. It was great. Yeah, I forgot to mention in our feedback that because of the one feedback we got the one time about my video looking bad, and I was using my built-in Mac camera from 2016. I bought a new video camera, so hopefully I look a little bit better today. You can see all my pores and everything.
Yeah, look. Yeah. He's in full 1080p now.
Yeah, so
not 480p. Yes, yeah.
Hopefully better now.
Yes. So
anyway,
take that, whatever commenter that was back then.
That's right.
We'll look you up.
Because of you.
And we'll make sure.
I learned it by watching you.
Nice. All right. Well, on that, why don't we move on over to the new releases? I got a couple in here from the last couple weeks since we didn't have shows. First new release out was Marvel Spider-Man 2 out for the PlayStation. Everybody seems to love this game. I still haven't tried it yet, but someday I'll get to it.
I definitely will.
Yeah. When it comes to PC, maybe I'll pick it up.
I'll probably buy. I mean, do you think it'll go on sale within the next 6 months?
Probably not 6 months, but next.
No, I'll probably buy it for full before then because I do want to play it. I hear it's great.
Yeah.
Everyone's just raving about it, and people that I respect, not just like
Randos.
All the plebes, like, oh, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be great.
Nice. All right, next new release out was Super Mario Brothers Wonder out for the Switch, and this everyone seems to love. It's back to like the 2D side scrolling, having a good time. If I wanted to touch my Switch, I would probably pick this up because Super Mario Brothers was one of my favorite games of all time, but I probably don't.
You'd rather let it collect dust.
Yes,
yeah. This game will be a pickup for me.
Up?
Not yet, but I am planning on picking this up at some point. My son's doing a whole Pokemon thing right now. He's back into Pokemon playing on the Switch, so I don't get my hands on it very much. But once he dies down on that, I'm probably picking this game up.
The trick is just buy one per person, Selden. You don't even need to use it once you have
it. Hey, why don't you just box up one of the 7 you have lying around and send it down to New York?
My I do want to get this, but like I said, so much to play right now. My son wants to play it too. His birthday's right after Christmas, so he has like a birthday Christmas thing.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'll probably get that on cart for him. I've been buying stuff on carts for him. I think I mentioned this previously because eventually the Switch 2 will come out and then we'll be able to play those. We'll be able to kind of he'll have my old one probably and I'll have the Switch 2 and we can both play the games. So yeah, I'll get it on cart probably for Christmas and then by then I'll have everything else beat. And I can play it and he can play it.
And you'll have some
Do you
free
think
great.
time.
Nintendo will ever get rid of carts and just go static memory?
I don't know, man.
I just think that's something.
I think there's like I saw, it's not one of the stories I picked, but like I saw some company that has been making games for the last few years now has a $200 cart for
Oh
the
yeah.
Switch that has like
Yeah.
17 games in it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's 8-bit. No, not 8-bit. What's the one? Yeah, it's the one that did Kentucky Route Zero and all that. Yeah, it's like a collection of 10 games
Yep.
on
Because
there.
honestly, I mean, that's a lot of the old Nintendo products. That's how a lot of the hackers or whatever, they would just ROM them onto carts, and you just throw the cart in, it would treat it like normal. So
Yeah.
I'm like, at some point, I mean, there's no DRM on how they had that set up for the most part. So like,
Yeah.
you imagine at some point they're going to realize that maybe having carts isn't the best option, and memory is,
Even the
expensive enough that
N64 days, like I had the N64 and you could buy this thing called the Z64 that you put on top, and then it took zip disks, and then you would put the card in the top, and you could use the little LCD screen and be like, copy to zip disk, and then you could return that game to Blockbuster and do it again and again and again, and maybe you had like 20 zip disks that had because each one could
Zip
hold way
disks,
more than
wow.
one game. So like 20 zip disks would hold the entire N64 library, and that thing may or may not still be in my attic. So yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely games that aren't on carts that, yeah, people want to have them on physical carts, and there will be companies that will make those.
Yeah,
like the company you mentioned.
Boutique ones, yeah.
I think I Am 8-bit might be the one, but I'm blanking. But I order from that company a lot.
Yeah.
I just can't think of the name.
There's one that comes to PAX East every year that has their like boutique like releases that it's like limited edition, like non-digital. It's an actual cart, but they sell for like way more than a Nintendo cart should be. So
yeah, like I mentioned Kentucky Route Zero. I do want to get a copy of that on Switch because I love that game, and it comes with a map of the Zero, which is this. Yeah. If you ever played the game, it's a cool like mystery game, but it's got a map that you can only get in that thing. I don't even think you can get it in the PlayStation 4 version they put out. But even if they could, I don't have a disc in my PS5, so I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
And I already have it on PS5 digital, so I just want that map, and it's like $80. I don't want to spend $80 for a map because I already have it on Switch on digital. So
yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
All right, next new release out is Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord, out for the PSVR 2 and the Quest. So, VR first-person Ghostbuster game.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it does.
I had a
VR,
about getting this for the PSVR 2. So yeah.
Yeah, and it looked good too. I mean, it doesn't look bad either. So I'm definitely thinking about picking that up after the Christmas time frame. So
there was a update to the most recent Ghostbusters multiplayer game that just came out recently, like last week, probably the same time as this, and I can't remember what it's called. Something about slime, and I was like, oh, it just updated, and so I have that game already, and it just updated the game, and I must be like DLC or something that's just included, which is great.
Just bundle it in for free.
And I haven't played it yet. It's a game that you can't play. I don't think you can play it locally multiplayer. It has to be online. So, which is weird because I want to play it with my son, but we do have 2 screens, so we can do that.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, next new release is Shadow's girlfriend, Alan Wake 2, out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the PC. This is like His wife probably doesn't like this. He's spending a lot of time with his side piece, Alan Wake
No,
2.
she doesn't like this. Well, this was supposed to come out on the 17th, and they pushed it back 10 days.
Yep,
And the 17th was our anniversary, and I just
Well, at
told
least
her
you
when I
lucked out
originally,
there.
yeah. So originally, when the date came out, I was like, so just FYI, it's coming out on our anniversary. I'm gonna be playing it. So, and then it got pushed back. So,
Then
but
you
yeah,
wish you hadn't said that. Yep.
yeah, she's cool. She understood. She knows
made
it's my favorite.
She made the call, didn't she? She made the call to get delayed.
Yeah,
she's like, listen,
hey,
delay this game.
delay, because of Spider-Man and Mario, but also me. Yeah. So yeah, that's. I mean, I've already said my piece on that, but it already has had a bunch of updates, and it'll have more. So just keep your eyes on those.
Just remember, Shadow said it's broken. Don't play it, but it'll fix. So,
yeah. One thing is a big deal is with this is that there are no physical copies of this game. You can only buy digital, and they knocked the price down $10. So
nice.
It's 59, which everything now is 69. So it's 59. There's a lot of people who are physical people who want to have the disc, and they're upset about it.
But idiots. But
some people want discs. They have their reasons, but I mean, PC would never have a disc anyway. The other thing is that it's not on Steam or anything. It's an Epic game because Epic made it. So you can only get it on the Epic launcher on PC. So it's not only no disc, it's only Epic on PC. So there are some issues. Yeah. I don't care about that. If it was on PC and I had a PC, I would just get the Epic. But yeah, so if you care about that, those are two different things that are kind of caveats with that game right now.
Fair enough.
Now, what are you playing? Are you playing it on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC?
I'm playing an Xbox because I just picture in my head Alan Wake is an Xbox game. That's where it first came out, and I think Microsoft used to be the only place to get Remedy games for a while.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It seems familiar.
At least Alan Wake for sure. And then I think that they lost the rights to that, and then it was never on PlayStation. And then Remastered came out, and then it was on both. So. Yeah, to me, it's just an Xbox game.
Yeah, it would be nice if Epic made that a Play Anywhere game. So if you bought it on Xbox, you could play the PC version. Also, but,
yeah, I don't think.
I just don't know if I don't know if a lot of companies outside of like the Microsoft, Game Pass environment are really doing that Play Anywhere where you can do that.
Not normally.
No, not unless they have some sort of deal. Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice. It's their own environment, It's like it's not getting it from Steam or something like that. So any DLC or anything like that you buy from it would come from the Epic Store.
That's true. That's true. But anyway, so those are the issues with that one currently.
All right. Next new release out is RoboCop Rogue City out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC. This is a first-person RoboCop shooter. The thing that makes this less cool is that the cool thing about RoboCop is that you see RoboCop doing stuff, but when you are RoboCop, you see the arm, and that's it. Yeah,
got to get that path tracing and look at all the reflections of yourself.
They should have just called this Terminator. Then they could have just had a Terminator arm.
yeah, you just swap out the arm. Yes.
I've seen shots of it. It looks pretty cool. I don't know how it plays, but it looks cool.
It does look cool. I haven't tried, and I'm probably not going to be honest.
Yeah, this is a hard pass for me just by the title alone. RoboCop was cool in like the 90s, maybe. Is that when it first came out? 80s, 90s?
Answer, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like RoboCop was like a sort of a statement or a satire on some things in the first one, and then from then on, it was just.
It was as much of a satire on things as Starship Troopers was. Yes.
And then everyone just latched onto the actual RoboCop killing guys thing, and then all the ones after that were just shooters.
Let's do this. The people liked it. Yeah. So
I don't think it aged very well. Like if you went to go back and watch a RoboCop movie now, I don't think it would. I
don't know. I watched.
I don't know if it would play over.
I watched these like 2 or 3 years ago, and they still hold up. So
I'd buy that for $1.
I'd buy. Yeah, exactly. Some of the special effects are not as good as they were at the time, but
I mean, the stop motion of what's it's called?
The bad
Yeah.
robotic
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that's where it breaks a little bit.
It's
yes.
weird, but I still like it because it's just like a love letter to the
Yeah,
80s,
yeah,
like
yeah.
stop motion of it. I still like it. I know that it looks janky, and my kids would be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
But I like it.
Fair enough. All right, last new release out, WarioWare Move It, out for the Switch. So if you like mini games, you like Nintendo's way to piecemeal out mini games to you, whether it's part of Mario Party, whether it's part of WarioWare. This one's more of a gesture-based game, obviously, hence the Move It, just like the previous WarioWare games on the Wii U? Or was it the Wii?
Maybe?
I can't remember which one.
I don't know.
Wii.
The Wii.
Is this new or is this a remake?
Oh no, this is brand new. Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
It probably has the same mini games it did when it first came out on a different title.
Could be.
Not for me,
Cool.
but I'm sure it's for you guys that touch your Switches.
Nope.
So.
Hard pass.
Caress them gently.
All right, then let's move on to gaming news. If you're in chat right now, you want us to talk about a story or anything you want to talk about, drop it in the chat. Otherwise, let's start this off. I'm going to half-ass this one. First story! Activision Blizzard King finally joins Xbox. So this may seem like it was like 5 years ago to you, but it was really only a couple weeks, but we didn't have any shows. So finally all of the stop guards were put down and Microsoft was allowed to incorporate Activision Blizzard King. King, you never even heard that before because King's like some ghetto ass
Candy Crush
fucking phone shit thing. But Activision Blizzard was the big thing, so that finally went through after us talking about this for
King's big,
year
man.
and a
You don't
half.
even know.
Well, I'm sure
King
they
is
are.
huge and lots of money.
Yeah.
So a year and a half later, it's finally done, and the world didn't explode. Other video game companies didn't go out of business. Call of Duty's not an exclusive on Xbox. Like, all of the things that Phil Spencer said are still true. So, yeah, good on them. Super psyched for them.
Finally.
Yay! Yeah, I'm glad the deal finally went through. And
yeah, and then we got till like January, February or something. They're gonna start putting Blizzard and Activision stuff on Game Pass.
Yep.
Yeah. So that'll be good.
Well,
Play
I might as
some
well
old
just
Call of
wrap
Duties.
these two into one before I pass this on. It'll also speed up the show. Bobby Kotick will remain Activision Blizzard CEO until the end of 2023. So he was the controversial CEO of Activision Blizzard. Everyone wanted him out. Like, he has like some insane amount of golden parachute action going on. But after the end of 2023, he will be gone. Activision Blizzard games will go on Game Pass, and the world will forget Bobby Kotick. So yeah, January is going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's the transition phase in any kind of corporate takeover usually is about 3 months. So I mean, where they start, liberating people after 3 months. So it's right within that time frame that you would expect to see a CEO, step to the wayside. I know that he had probably caveats within his agreement with the sale of he made some god awful money on just the sale alone, like 325 million or something like that. 375.3 million was reported what he was supposed to make from the sale of Microsoft. Plus, if he got fired before then, his golden parachute was phenomenally more. So I think it was just a gesture of the transition team putting him in there for 3 months. But it'll be good when he's gone. So
it's what's the least amount of money we can spend to get him out of here?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So good news for gamers. Good news for everyone. When everyone can game, we all win. So yes, yeah.
Like how you said, corporate takeover, like sound very devious.
Well, merger, buy, sell, whatever you want to call it.
We welcome our new overlords.
Acquisitions, yes.
Acquisition
is the soft name for corporate
yes.
takeover, yes. But normally the CEO, they usually make them hang out 1 year or 2 years. But the fact that Bobby Kotick is like a 3-month
Nobody
thing.
likes
It's
him.
like,
Yeah.
so yeah. All right, next story.
I'll go ahead and grab this one. Xbox is seemingly blocking unauthorized third-party accessories and controllers. Starting sometime in November, I think November 12th, you'll start receiving an error pop up when you plug in your third-party controller that's not authorized by Xbox, with some kind of error code that says you have basically like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to get rid of this controller and start playing with a different controller. The details aren't 100% clear yet on exactly what is and what isn't, but Microsoft's got a list of partners that they have that are going to be definitely authorized sellers of hardware that you plug in, so accessories and stuff like that. One of my big questions is, like, I'm really afraid for, like, because I have a separate SSD card that I use as a backup storage for my games. I'm not sure it was one of the Xbox authorized ones. Like, is that also going to register as not okay? Or
you have one that fits in the slot in the back of the Xbox?
no. It's a USB.
Oh, USB. No.
A USB external hard drive, basically.
Yeah, no, I think any of the USB ones that are USB 3, I think they said they support. So yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I don't know if you're going to see a lot of backlash. I'm sure the Sony fanboys are going to hit all the message boards and say how awful Microsoft is for restricting it to just their people. But I think this is a good move overall. Just from my point, from all the hackers that have the non-legit controllers that have all the aim assists macros and everything inside of it. So it'll be good to see if that gets rid of some of these that are out there, especially in your highly competitive multiplayer shooters and stuff like that. So,
and I mean, it says unauthorized; it doesn't say all. So like scuff and stuff, those will work.
The license fee, like that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it could be that somehow you could use the devices to hack things, and I don't know. I mean, like you mentioned too, the the extra functions you could have with controllers that are bad for competitive play, and I mean, they could have some sort of external drive that could be plugged in that would be playing hacked games and stuff. So I don't know.
True. Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, especially you'll get the warning, and then a couple weeks later, like, it'll disallow you from using that piece. I'm like,
all USB devices have a unique identifier. So yeah. All right, next story.
Analog 3D revealed brings your N64 games into the 4K era. This is a Analog who makes the Analog Pocket, makes the Analog SNES and NES, and they're making and right now they have a TurboGrafx CD that's coming out soon, but they create all the systems that will play your old carts and old discs, and they say there's no on this, and also for all the other ones, 100% compatibility with every region, because it's not actually emulating the game. It's emulation of the system. So it's the whole system on an FPGA, which is a field programmable graphics array, or gate array. So you can program it to mimic the original system just in this chip. So the carts think you're playing an original system. So what happens with a lot of other ones of these systems is that it will just dump the whole cart to its memory and then play the cart through there. But what Analog does is it plays it direct from the cart, so that's their claim to fame. I have the Pocket and the SNES of theirs, which so far so good. They're great. I had just I think I mentioned last time mod, I just did mod for my N64 to RGB mod it, but Analog will have a lot of other functions where you can do like scan lines, you can do certain upreses and things like that, and softening, and mine was just a straight RGB mod, which looks great for an N64. N64s don't look that great really anymore, unless you do some work to it slightly. So I'm
what
pretty...
you're saying is you're going to pick this up. Yeah,
I probably will. But I mean, I'm going to get it right off, because if you don't get the Analog stuff right away, they're just gone. They they don't seem to care about keeping stuff around to buy it later. It's you pre-order it, and then when you get it, you have your copy, and then they're just sold out forever. So if you want one of these,
no inventory.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't, yeah,
Sounds like a
And I don't
pop-up
know-
shop in the city or something like that. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
Get
one
it
of those
worth
type
it.
of things.
never
pretty
find
much.
us. We're done.
Yeah, people will buy them and then just keep them and then sell them a year later for like 10 times as much or something crazy like that. Not 10 times, but like 5 times for sure. So yeah, I'll get one just because it's going to be the best place to play N64 stuff. I don't even have that many.
Yeah.
I don't have that much N64 stuff yet, but I'll get a few. I'll get my favorites, and I'm
Did I mention
you
I have
know
all the games?
I'm an adult. You you have all the games.
Yes.
What?
We talked
You-
about the Z64 earlier. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, that's yeah. Yeah, well, that's not
Yes.
having all the games. Yes, I have all the games too. Let me just download that real quick. Okay, now I have all the games.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mine are on a cart,
sure.
sort of ish.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I may get the what's the cart that has you can play all the stuff from it. The one thing I will say that it is that they missed the boat on this is calling it analog 3D. That does not to me say N64.
Yep.
I mean 3D okay, but that makes me think of like 3D glasses. These days at least. I would have personally put Ultra in there in the name somewhere because that was the original name of the N64.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought like Analog Ultra or Ultra 3D or Ultra 64. I guess they probably couldn't say 64, but
No.
so yeah.
There were some
And that's
choices
coming out
made.
next year. I would imagine that'd probably be, if I had to guess, I would say 300 top, but 300 plus probably for that. So
I was thinking 200. So I guess we'll see.
yeah. Next story.
Next story. All right. Sony's smaller PS5 with a detachable disk drive lands in November. So we all saw this coming. We know how well this worked with other like the Xbox's external now I can
Blu-ray
HD
drive.
DVD drive, and then this was a weird choice. But I think the part that makes this the worst of all is that the console doesn't even really look that much smaller, does it?
No, it's not.
It's like 30% smaller.
But
It
not
is,
enough
but
to warrant this, right?
but it's the same form factor, so
Yeah,
it
and it's
looks the
same
exact
stupid thing,
same.
yes. Yeah.
It's just smaller, but it's like a micro version of it.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like you should have taken this, but they like the way it looks. I think that's why.
I think that's the lesson learned here is that Sony actually likes what they designed. Now the question
I don't know of anybody who does really.
No one does. It doesn't fit anywhere. The stand falls off. Everything else.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is, will this external detachable drive actually work with the PlayStation 5s that people did not buy a disc?
No, I don't think so.
Because if you see the mock-up of it, the side of the PlayStation 5 slides off now, and you're going to be hooking this right onto the chassis.
I think it's probably not a
sits in
USB
or not,
connection.
So that's the question: is what's the connection?
I don't think it's USB. I think it's probably like eSATA or something. It's probably just
it
probably just pops in and the connections touch.
Like
That's what I would imagine.
The connector there, and it
Yeah.
mates
You
with.
I would
slide the
imagine
drive
it's
into
probably
it.
So that's the part that was not clear from the picture, but I think that maybe if it was USB or something else, that may be a better selling point for them. But it's just interesting that this is the route they went. So I would never want a disc either way, but
I also found it interesting the price point on this. The PS5 all digital was what $399 or whatever it was.
Used to be.
And this one's now $450 or something like. Mm-hmm. So they raised it $50, making it slimmer
all along.
And
but you know why though, right? Like they were selling the other one at a slight loss, I think, and so they just thought, we got to boost this up a little bit to make some actual money on it, and
I don't know if they really did a big production line on the all digital, anyways, because I think the all digital was harder to find than the digital, disc one.
That's one.
I think it was an afterthought. No, it is the one that I had, but it was really hard to find. I got one right at launch, and if I didn't, I didn't find many of them when I was reselling them for a while there. I didn't find many. It's
Yeah,
mostly
so
the disc.
but they did say that any inventory they have out there of the all digital is going to stay out there until it's gone, and then the only
Well,
thing
that
that'll
would
be
make sense
resupplied is
because
the all
why
digital.
would
So,
you not sell something you already manufactured?
but they're gonna keep it at the original $50 less price
Ah,
until
okay,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
So they're not going to
yeah,
raise the
but
price on that one to match the one with the
Right.
detachables. So
Yeah.
and then eventually the digital version will just be kind of the only version, and then
You'll
then
just
you'll be
add
able
the
to like
drive.
you'll order the drive separately if you want
Yep.
to, but it's not going to come boxed with that. I think probably two,
That
3 years down the
that's
road, you won't be able to
one
buy one. That's
manufacturing line versus two, much
Yep,
cheaper. Yep. Yeah.
yep, for sure.
yeah.
Which that's fine.
Wondering if down the line we're going to hear stories of like somebody took the door off of the side of their all digital to put the disk drive on,
And it
and now
already
the
had,
original door doesn't go back on and
you know,
it's falling off.
I mean, that's going to be how people are going to be pirating stuff. They're just going to attach a hack drive to it,
yeah, and
and
it's
then they'll
going to
just
look
use
like
that.
a disk drive. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a Nintendo device.
All right. Next story.
So
Shadow, you want that one? Or, no, I just
is it
did
my
this.
turn?
Yeah, I just did the PlayStation.
I'm sorry.
I'll take another one if you
Yeah.
want.
So
I
now
just did
I'll,
this
I'll do.
one. I just did this. This was my story.
No, I did this one. Oh no, you did this one. Okay, I'll take this one. Why not?
It's an analog. I said analog. That was
Shit.
mine.
All right. I just talked so much about that. I thought maybe I did it. I thought we talked about this, but we'll bring this back up. But the International Olympic Committee announces plans to for the Olympics esport games, where they're bringing video games to the Olympics.
Yep.
Okay. When they brought the X Games to the Olympics, it was a big controversy. A lot of people like those aren't real sports. How dare you bring skateboarding and snowboarding? But now they're the biggest.
And you're like,
biggest
we'll show you video games. Yeah, that's
now
right.
they're trying their hand
ass.
again. Now they're trying their hand again to bring another innovation and up the Olympic viewing with esports. So it'll be interesting to see how they regulate this, judge this, how they're going to do it. So
it'll be interesting. Yeah, like that's the understatement of the day. Like
I will tune in on the 2026 Olympics and see how it goes.
How Fortnite goes. Yeah.
Yeah, what title are they going to pick?
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like there's so many competing things. Like which thing is
EDR.
the one that has the thing for TV? What's the thing that brings a crowd in? Like how do you pack a stadium to watch people play a game? Like then you need a different kind of stadium that has jumbotrons and massive screens and this and so
or do they go with a shooter, or as Shadow just said, maybe a little DDR? They can have their judging, their controversial judging on is it a 9.5 move, or was the level of difficulty enough to push that up to a 10?
Yeah, no, so that's an interesting twist moving forward. So only time will tell.
I don't know.
Next story.
So 343 Industries expands Halo Infinite's Forge mode with campaign AI tools. Halo Infinite will soon allow the player base to make their own campaign scenarios in Forge mode. It's kind of cool. As part of the game's 5th season, the popular creation tool let Forge players use an AI toolkit to enable functions like spawning AI, control where the AI navigates, and use a node graph to control managing AI. So you can just sort of make your own campaign level, sounds like, which is kind of cool.
Pretty
like
badass,
if you're
yeah.
really into that stuff, I mean, people who are good at this are really good at it. And I would never be able to do it, but I would play things that people make for sure.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you think back to Infinite had so many dead areas on that map that could be really freaking awesome for, different missions or mission styles or gameplays. You could do like a horde mode, a zombie mode type thing, as a campaign type mission with an objective. I think this is a great idea. I think this could really bring back a lot of popularity of the game, and the Forge community is probably going to eat this up and really spit out some quality stuff. So
yeah, no, those are the guys, probably the only guys that are doing stuff right now. So yeah, if the Forge community clicks into this and they can make like some like one-off campaign missions, I think this may help to push Halo back into the forefront of things. So yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of this. So,
Yeah, looks like it's been out for about 10 days or
yeah.
2 weeks.
Nice.
So go check it out for sure.
All right, last story. Disney Dreamlight Valley to leave early access as a paid game. So Tiff was balls deep in this game for a long time. About a month ago, she slowed down a little bit, probably coincidentally with Starfield, but she said the last couple updates were not good. But like, I watched her play this thing every morning for like an hour before she went to work, and like, she was sucked into this thing. So, and I know Selden had his like little village of the damned. He was having a good time with it, but yeah, I wonder how many people will continue to play this game once it costs money. Selden, tell us.
I stopped playing a long time ago. Like I got through all the content. I got through a couple of the add-on packs and stuff like that they had, but then it started to get really repetitive and boring, and the stuff that they were adding wasn't deep enough and didn't go far enough for me. So
Balls deep.
yeah, it's not something that even the in-game purchases and the battle pass or whatever their season pass that they have wasn't worth continuing to strive for. So it was a great summer game when there was nothing else being released. It was just a kind of a distraction type thing. But once this fall season hit,
out?
yeah, when games actually came out that I wanted to play, this one went to the wayside real quick. So
Fair enough.
I would not be paying 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 bucks for whatever it is. So
yeah,
I started to play it for a little bit and I thought it was interesting, especially for a free to play game where you could just buy things if you wanted to, or you could just earn them. It seemed pretty cool. I just kind of fell off when I was playing other stuff. It's not really my thing, but like definitely my daughter would for sure like it, I think. So
well, I mean, yeah, I mean the concept of the game is it's got that whole Farmville aspect where it's like you're planting, you're farming, you're villaging, you're social interaction, and it's got all the characters. Which if you're a Disney nut, if you're a Disney head, I mean, this is the game for you, especially if you're a super casual gamer. I'm like, this is something kids can love, and the parents can be there to help them with the game and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with the game. It's just it was a good time waste for me until something came out that I wanted to play. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, how much could it cost though? Do we know?
It says on December 5th, the retailers will range from a digital only at $40 for the core game to $70, which includes the expansion pass and in-game cosmetics and currency. That expansion will also be available separately for $30. So,
but we still don't know if it'll still be on Game Pass at that point. That's the one thing we don't know.
Yeah.
Because Game Pass was the only one that it was included with that was not early access. It was just on Game Pass from day one.
Right.
So, yeah. So
that's why I couldn't remember if it was free to play or if it was Game Pass. But yeah, so it's Game Pass, so it was just free because of that.
But it was also free to play. But
yeah,
like, what deal did they make with Game Pass? So that's kind of what we're waiting to find out. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be interesting. It'll also be interesting to see if it's a complete reset on the going private over the free, or if they let you continue on where you are. So
I don't think that would ever happen, because no one would continue on if they had to start over. Like Tiff already has her rainbow fox and her brown fox, blue fox, green fox, red fox. Like if you were like, yep, you lose all your shit, she'd be like, yep, fuck you.
Yep, done.
Yeah.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yep. All right. Well, that wraps up our gaming news. So any of your stories you want us to talk about next week, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage, which no one goes to websites anymore. Sponsors! If we had them, we'd pimp them, but we don't, so we won't. So just shoot us a message if you want to sponsor the show. We could use one. Twitter's up. You can find everything Tool Player everything Tool Play related at twitter.com/tool-play, everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/tool-play. Just jump in there, post some comments, have a good time. Just be part of the community. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool-to-play. That is where one of the many places we broadcast live each and every week, but it's also probably our primary on-demand source of Tool to Play content. Whether it's this show, Hits Quick Hits, Tiff's Amateur Interviews, Selden's thing, they're all there. So yeah, definitely go on youtube.com/tool-to-play and just explore the content. See what we put out there to the public and see what you think about it. Just and then call in the show and let us know and email us and comment on social media, because many of you probably came in after that content and you may think it's exquisite. Who knows? So yeah,
all press is good press.
Yes. So youtube.com/tool-to-play. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. We get an extra few minutes. Write us a little nice review, and we would super appreciate it. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. It's not our original Twitch channel for Tool to Play because we could not multi-stream on that. So we're still looking to build up our audience here. So please go there, follow us. And maybe eventually we'll be partnered there, and then we won't be able to use that either because Twitch has some kind of weird exclusivity deal. But yeah, it still gets eyes, so that's all that matters. We have a Discord channel. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. No spaces, no anything, all lowercase. You can chat with Shadow 24/7 365, Selden 27/365.
I will like wake up in the middle of the night and look at your message.
Yeah, see, he will. Yeah, me 444, Tiff 222. But yeah, like these things will happen. Like if you do it one of the 2 days a year I look, I will respond. So I'm not the best at it, like, but these guys, they're holding down the fort. So definitely join us there and chat with your favorite hosts. All right, Selden, what do you got to pimp this week?
I am going to pimp. I know that October's coming to the end and it's the end of Cancer Awareness Month, but I'm going to put it out there. Just because the month is over doesn't mean you shouldn't be considerate and think about cancer survivors and cancer people that are facing cancer currently. So I would recommend, American Cancer Society or any of your local charities. If you can, maybe donate, give some time, get involved in something. If they have a local race, walk, or something like that, go out there and do that. Help raise money for cancer research and cancer survivors. That's my big thing. If you could do that, that would be great. Other than that, I'd like to pimp my own socials at Selden 007 at Linktree. You can find me at Link.
Is that an email address?
Oh God, I'm just completely obliterated that. All right, go to Linktree/Selden007. Damn it. You'll find a link to all my socials on my Linktree. Especially check out the Instagram I have set up for gaming clips that I've been putting together. I dropped a really hot one the other day on Vampire Survivors, not Slayers. So check that one out. Leave a comment, and I'd much appreciate it.
And so I will mirror what Selden said. Cancer survivors, it's great. I would definitely just do what he said, and I'm all for that. So I have a link tree as well. It's at Brian S. Emmer, BrianSEMERICK, Brian S. Emmer. So all my stuff's there. Child's Play, Extra Life. I got my X on there and my Discord profile, YouTube, and all that stuff. I will say that one thing I was upset about with YouTube is that they started blocking ads, or blocking ad blockers. So yeah, if you're using your if you're
Ad block
looking at us in a
plus.
browser, if you're using any ad block stuff in your browser and you're watching our YouTube video, you're gonna have ads, or you need to turn off your ad blocker. So yep, that's me.
Right. Well, I will double down on the cancer survivor stuff. Also, Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. I will, like, if you have some charity that you want us to reach out to, just shoot me a message and I'll talk about them after the show, because a lot of people don't know about this stuff. So, like, I have no problem pimping your personal, uh, like, fundraiser or whatever. So, and it doesn't cost you anything. So just shoot me a message. But yeah, for all of my personal stuff, I'm at Linktree. That's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. That's all of my own social media shit, as well as all the show's social media shit. But yeah, definitely give out to cancer people, give out to juvenile diabetes, cancer kids, you name it. All of these things definitely need money. And if you get a few extra bucks, just throw it their way, because, like, some of us are blessed and some of us are not. So let's just make sure we share the wealth and help people out, because, you know, who else is going to do it?
For sure.
Yeah. All right. I want to remind you all, you can join us each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/tooltoface, youtube.com/tooltoplay, facebook.com/tooltoplay, twitch.tv/still_got_game, and kick.tv/stillgotgame. Maybe.
You don't sound confident about that.
Because it's not in the outline. And on that, why don't we wrap this episode 511 episode up? I'm Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden 007 Selden.
I'm Brian Shadow Emery.
Yeah, we'll see you in like 5 weeks. No.